All right, welcome to the BJW YouTube channel where I'm mainly going to cover wrestling. Now, I know I'm late in the game. I've been a wrestling fan for quite some time, but it's time to just put my thoughts and opinions and just release them to the world. So, today we're going to be covering the WWE Draft, at least night one, obviously, since that just occurred, and just giving my thoughts and opinions on that. If you like the video, hit that like button, and if you feel like subscribing going forward, definitely hit that subscribe button for me. But let's get into it. So we got to start on SmackDown. Like, come on, the Tribal Chief is there. Now, I like that they considered him, Solo, and Paul a faction just to make the transition easier. And this should mean that the Usos are going to Raw after losing that tag team title match. So yeah, overall good pick, pretty predictable. Moving on to Bianca Belair. Now, she's beat everybody on Raw, so I guess this move makes sense. But to be honest, are we gonna do another title swap? Because I didn't really like the one with Becky and Charlotte when they did that. I just feel like it's a cop out. I don't know. Like Rhea just won the SmackDown's title, and now what? She might be the Raw Women's Champion. Like, well, I guess we'll see what happens with that. But either way, I would love to see a heel turn for Bianca. Like she's been a face for a little too long. I think it's time to, what I'm saying, up the ante. And that's actually going to play into effect with the Street Profits, who I like this move as well. Top tier tag team. But let's be honest, if they're not taking the titles off of Sammy and Kevin Owens down the line, it's time to just, make some room for some new tag teams like LWO or Hit Row, for example. Like, I will not rest till Montez goes solo. And I feel like that's actually a good way to split up the tag team by him going heel. You have Bianca go heel, and then, they're maybe the new it couple that's just hated by the fans. I don't know. That's just my fantasy booking in that regard. Going to Edge and even Bobby Lashley, we could put them both together. I mean, these are just two big name value stars. Funny enough, I actually don't recall the last time these guys faced in the ring, so that would be a great feud to start off, after this draft. I actually would love to see that. And, if that stems into, one of them facing Roman, I would prefer to see Bobby because I feel like we've seen Edge Roman a couple times already. That would be pretty cool. So solid picks. Now that we're talking about the OC, I mean, I'm just glad that AJ is on SmackDown again. When he was champion way back when, feels like forever ago, and he had the whole house that AJ Styles built. That was just such a great time, and I feel like it's time to bring that back. In that promo he cut on Friday, he definitely showed that aggression. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he does. As far as the group is concerned, I mean, I think that's just a good group to have. Maybe they can add a member, but a lot of these groups are just mini Bullet Clubs if we really think about it. So I'm not too high on like Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. I feel like they've done a lot just as a tag team, so it might just be more support for AJ. And as far as Michin, I think is how you pronounce her name. I mean, she could flourish in the group, but again, it might be similar to Hit Row with B Fab. You just have another female presence, so we'll see how that goes. As far as damage control is concerned, I mean, I still have never really cared about this group to be really honest. Like I feel like EO is kind of the star. Obviously Bailey has, she's a vet, so she doesn't need to do too much, but I find it odd that EO is going to face Bianca for the title, and they're both on the same brand. So I don't know how they're gonna deal with that. Hopefully they do some Uno reverse card and put her back at Raw by herself. Because I think truly she deserves to be by herself. There's no need for this faction to exist. But that's just my personal opinion. And then lastly we have Alba. Oh gosh, this is how I know I don't watch enough NXT. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. I've seen clips of them. Good chemistry. I think they're both from Scotland, so they definitely could shake things up for the women's tag team division. Because they actually look like a good tag team, not just two random people that you put together. So down the line, they definitely should have those titles. But yeah, that's pretty much it for SmackDown as far as like the main attractions. So why not just go to Raw? And I know I was hyping up the Tribal Chief, but if I'm being honest, Raw did its thing. Like I personally think they won this side as far as just like what we could potentially see going forward. Like let's start off with Cody Rhodes. Obviously, main event guy. I am kind of disappointed they put him with Roman because I feel like he needs his get back. But if he's gonna be down the line and win that championship, or whether it's Brock or Gunther, and we're gonna talk about that, he definitely needed to be the second pick there. Becky Lynch, I don't mind it. Obviously, she's on top of her game when we look at the four horsewomen, and obviously Sasha's no longer there, but she's definitely got some more fire left in her. I feel like out of everyone there. So um, whether she's feuding with Rhea going forward or whatever is involved, if she needs to deal with Trish first, you know there's a bright future for her still. Imperium, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I mean, as a group, obviously keep them together. I think Gunther has been a fantastic intercontinental champion, and this year should be the year where we see him move on to the main event role. I don't think they need to rush anything, but he definitely deserves a push going forward. It's just a matter of who he might lose that title to, and it could be the guy that we're looking at right below, Matt Riddle. Um, Obviously, he returned from injury not too long ago, and he's going to be needing something to do after his little storyline is over. I forget what he's actually involved in, but him versus Gunther would be a crazy match. I mean, he's tall, but like Gunther's taller, so you could still see it as a David and Goliath thing. But I don't know. I don't have anyone particular to get that title off of Gunther yet. Maybe that's a future video coming up. And then we have Drew McIntyre. Simply put, he needs to turn heel. He needs to turn heel. The face thing's been good. Obviously, he's a main event guy like other people like Seth Rollins and whatnot, but they've just been kind of delegated to the mid card while other people had to eat. But I think him being on Raw is a good change, but he also needs a change in demeanor, and I think that can unlock some good storylines going forward. The Miz, I mean, what do we have to say about the Miz? He has his own show on the USA Network, so this was kind of predicted. But yeah, moving on. Shinsuke Nakamura. Yes, 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 yes. If I'm being honest, part of me wants him to take that title off of Gunther, but at the same time, he's had that Intercontinental Championship like twice. So if we do it a third time, like he's pretty much gonna be like a top tier mid level card guy, which I feel like he can be more than that, but WWE just has to book him the right way. Whether he needs a manager or I don't know, something has to give for me to see him as like a top guy. I just feel like I put a lot of other people above him, as of right now. And then we have Indy Hartwell, who's the NXT Women's Champion. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Like I wouldn't say it's rushed, but at the same time, it's like you just brought up the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Now you're bringing her up. So at least for NXT's sake, that women's division is going to need some work to do. And there are some good talents there from what I've seen, but I don't know. It just seems crazy to push those stars up very fast. And kind of makes me wonder if Braun's going to be up next as far as the men's division from NXT side. But either way, I think she can definitely be in some new feuds, and people can see her as a likable character. But as it stands now, it's hard to have faith in something that I haven't seen a lot. And then we have the extras. I don't even want to spend too much time on this list because a lot of the names here are either washed up or I just don't see the potential in them anymore. I guess good names to talk about. Candice LeRae is cool. Definitely potential there, especially if she's paired up with Johnny Gargano. Zoe Stark, I like. You know, seeing a match with her and Becky Lynch down the line would be fire. JD McDonough, I also like. Wouldn't be mad if he took the title off of Gunther either. Um, and yeah, that's really it. Like, I guess Hit Row 2, there's some slight potential, but you know, WWE has not really put enough, you know, faith in these stars, which I feel like is why they're in this list. So until they show me different, I have no reason to care too much. But that's about it, and that pretty much wraps up my WWE draft opinions after night one. I honestly like the NXT call ups most of all. And I think with Triple H being in more control, hopefully, they won't get watered down going forward. But yeah, definitely stay tuned for more videos from me. I'm definitely gonna have a night 2 reaction there. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace.